And was she enrolled in preschool?
Yes, she was.
At what age?
3.
And did she attend kindergarten?
Yes,
And did she ultimately graduate at 17 years old from high school?
she did.
And did she plan to go to college?
Yes, she did.
What were those plans?
She wanted to be a paralegal, and she went to a couple of school tours, college tours. Her and I went to the University of South Carolina in Columbia, and just to kind of give her an idea of how, or what it meant to be like on campus and stuff. So she got to experience that.
So you did do a college campus tour?
Yes.
Was she a healthy child?
Yes, she was.
A happy child?
She was. She was very happy. You know, I wanted to give them the truth as I knew it. I didn't want them to learn it out in the streets or hear it differently somewhere else. So I gave them the truth as I knew it.
And do you now have grandchildren?
Oh, yes. I got those sweet little people. Oh, man. I miss them. I do.
How many
miss them.
grandchildren?
I have 4.
And who are they?
My oldest and my only girl is LaDravia, and she's 9. Now when I say grandchildren, I say 4, and when I say kids, I say 5, because I can't forget my stepchildren. And so I'm talking about, when I say 4, my 2 and my other 2, Erica's children as well. So LaDravia is 9, and she's the princess as well, and she's the oldest. Akai, he's 8, and then we have Jonah and Aiden, who are both 3.
And did you get to spend a lot of time with them prior to your incarceration?
Yes, every summer, and then Aiden and Akai lived in Walterboro, so I got to see them all the time.
And Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
You certainly may.
Ms. Landon, approach the defense's Exhibit 6.
On this side, and Alexis' diploma.
And the next photo?
This is our little children's area. The kids' toy basket and their chair for them to sit and watch TV with.
Was that for the grandchildren?
Yes, it was. Mm-hmm.
And the next photo?
Alexis' room.
And what about the next photo?
Alexis' room, her closet, a rocking chair.
And the following photo?
A family photo.
Who's depicted in it?
Alexis and the 2 boys and myself.
And the following photo?
Alexis at 2.
And the next one?
Alexis at 4.
And the following one?
Alexis at 3.
And the following?
This is when she was child of the day, and she was 2.
Where was your child today?
At the daycare.
The following photo?
This is her yearbook
From where?
from Bells Elementary, from elementary school.
And the following?
This is her certificate of outstanding service through the Mary B. Thomas girls.
And the next one?
This is the Stephen family reunion banquet, and they gave her an award, academic achievement for honor roll student, and she received a check for $100.
And who is the Stevens family?
My mother's family.
That's her mother's maiden name?
Yes.
And the following photo?
Oh, these are her senior pictures.
And the next one?
This is her invitation. This is her invitation for graduation.
And the following photo?
This is one of her pictures. I had paid for it and get a photo shoot, and so she took several different photos. So this is one of her pictures with her cap and gown.
For graduation?
Yes.
And the following photo?
Her graduation pictures. Her diploma.
And the following one?
A picture of me and her just taking selfies, I guess.
And how old was she in that photo?
I want to say she was 11.
And you told her that knowing that the truth was on the horizon?
Yes, I did.
That your arrest was imminent?
Yes, I did.
Did she ask you to do anything at that time?
She wanted me to run. I told her I couldn't do that. I couldn't leave her. I couldn't do it. I couldn't have a life like that. I was already in this for too long, and the truth was going to come out.
And did you in fact stay in town?
Yes, I did.
And ultimately there was an arrest warrant for you?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And you were picked up on that arrest warrant?
Yes, I was.
What time of day was that?
About 4 o'clock in the morning,
How were you dressed?
in my night clothes.
Where were you taken upon your arrest?
To the Colleton County Jail.
And was part of that, after your arrest, was part of that audio and video recorded?
Yes, it was.
And at some point, did the detectives allow Alexis to come in and say goodbye to you?
They did.
And was that portion audio and video recorded?
Yes, it was.
And have you been able to watch that video?
Yes.
And is it an accurate depiction of your relationship with Alexis?
Yes, it was.
And I just want to play a few short clips from this long video, and it is marked as Defense Exhibit 3. Your Honor.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Permission to publish.
Are you moving this in yet? Or just publishing something?
Publishing it at this moment. This one. You have it.
Welcome back, everybody. You're listening and watching to this live court case unfold right now in real time here on Law and Crime on Sirius XM and the Law and Crime Network. This is the Gloria Williams case, a woman who pled guilty to kidnapping a baby from a hospital hours after she was born and taking that baby home and raising it as her own daughter for the last 20 years. That baby was born Kamaya Mobley. Gloria Williams named her Alexis Manigault. And you can imagine the confusion going on in this case and what everything was resulting. But right now is the sentencing hearing, What will Miss Williams be sentenced to? She could face no jail time, or she could face a lot of jail time. I'm talking 22 years in prison on the kidnapping charge and even 5 years in prison on the interference charge. What we're about to listen to live into the courtroom is when she was arrested and detained by police. Let's listen in live.
I have nothing that's going to hurt expect me.
Miss Pinkney's going to set it and get you. Let me grab my bag there. Yes. Okay.
It's okay. It's okay. Lord, this is help.
It hurts.
How could I never get good out of it? You know, we didn't even learn that. So we're off today.
And what's going on there, Mrs. Williams?
I'm talking to her. I'm saying goodbye to her. I'm telling her to behave herself, to be respectful to her family.
It's not. Well, we're glad you came. I'm glad you came. And it's not about, I can tell you right now, it ain't about me. It's about you. That's it. It's all about you. Now, I'm not even worried about what goes on for you. I'm worried about you here and how you take it, how you feel. And counseling will be available. You might feel like you don't need it now, but a year from now you might need it. It's free.
I think I should have took that counseling with Cliff, with that Cliff thing. Because for the longest, I just kept.
What are you guys talking about there?
If I remember correctly, about her getting counseling.
And you said it's all about you.
Yeah, it was all about her.
What were you trying to convey to her at that time?
That I was concerned about her. I told her, don't worry about me. I was more concerned about her. I just wanted her to be okay.
All right. And the last one.
I'll be right with you, Glory, okay?
Okay. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. You know where I'm at. You know? Okay? You go do what you do, okay? Please. You baby, worry about you. You want me? Oh, Jesus. Okay, good for you. Okay, okay. Take one for him.
Yeah, I'm good. If you want y'all to see that.
Oh gosh. Don't worry about it.
You
Get
sure?
some more.
Okay.
All right.
You alright? What do you want me?
Thank you, Ms. White.
I'll take care of it.
Okay.
Mrs. Williams, what were you trying to do for Alexis at that time?
I was trying to comfort her. I was trying to reassure her that it was going to be okay.
And what happened as soon as she left that room?
I just broke down.
Mrs. Williams, did you ever tell Kamaya Alexis not to reach out to her parents after telling her who she really was?
No, I didn't.
And in fact, when you knew they were coming up to meet her for the first time, did you tell her to give them a chance?
Yes, I did.
Since your arrest, have you and Alexis remained in touch?
Yes, we have.
Has she ever asked you to stop speaking to her?
No, she hasn't.
In fact, when you don't call her for a few days, what happens?
She would call my husband or call my mom and ask, have you talked to Mom? And if so, tell her to call me.
And you're under permission to approach?
Certainly.
Mrs. Williams, I'm showing you what's been marked as Defense Exhibit 2. Can you look at those? Tell me what they are?
They're letters from Alexis.
And are those sent while you've been incarcerated?
Yes, ma'am. That's her handwriting.
And you're under permission. I would ask to offer these as evidence as defendants too, and I do have copies for the court as well.
Any objection? Defense Composite 2 is received into evidence, and I've received courtesy copies. Thank you.
And Mrs. Williams, do those letters, I know there's only two of several, but do those letters represent the type of conversations that you and Alexis have had over the 16 months?
Yes, it does.
Mrs. Williams, why did you not return Kamaya Mobley at any time to her biological parents after you took her on January 10th, 1998?
I think fear. I think just crippling fear. And then I fell in love with her. I fell in love with her. I fought with myself for so many years, thinking I could just bring her back, bring her back, bring her back. And I don't know, it'd be something she do or something she say. And I just said, you know, I just have to nurture her. And I don't know. I fought with myself for years with that question and to try to bring her back, especially when she was, when it first happened, because I guess I didn't know what state of mind I was in. For the baby shower, she had received 2 baby bags and always kept one of them packed fully with formula and Pampers, and because I just knew they were coming to pick her up that week. Because I knew I wasn't this is something I never did. This was out of character, and I was going to get caught. I knew it. And I thought I was going to get caught that week. And for I guess maybe good 6 months, that bag stayed in the hallway closet because I knew somebody was going to knock on the door and say, hey, we heard you got this baby. Give her back. So I wanted to make sure that she was going to be well okay on her way back to Florida. I don't know what more to say. But I wanted to reach out to you before this because I know you was hurting and I know you wanted answers. You know, I just kind of pray that you'd come down to the jailhouse to see me or whatever, to ask, because I would have told you, even though my attorneys told me not to. I think if you had come that far, I would have had to tell you. But I'm so sorry. And I tell you, I hurt you. I hurt Mr. Aiken and your families. And for that, I'm deeply sorry. I'm so sorry.
Mrs. Williams, do you acknowledge that Kamaya Mobley, Alexis, has been hurt through the situation as well?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I have something that I would like to share with y'all, maybe at another later time with Miss Mobley and Mr. Aiken. It's something I put together that I hope that maybe would one day bring you some comfort. And if you want it, I will give it to you.
And what is that, Mrs. Williams?
Just something I put together for them. It's something I really would rather not say with the media.
Does it depict Kamaya's life?
Yes, it does.
Do you have any, and through this you acknowledge that your own family's been hurt and harmed?
Well, I'm not finished apologizing to them. I'm sorry. I don't know. I can't explain where I was at that time in my life. It wasn't a good place. And that's not your problem. It's not your problem, but I can't explain how I felt or why I did what I did. I just know that looking at you, hearing about you, I hurt you in a major way, both of you. Your life hasn't been the same. And for that, I'm sorry. Now, as I said before, I put together this thing for you. And I would like to share it with you if you will accept it. As for Kamaya, As for Kamaya, I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to hurt you. I just love that child so, and I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to cause you any harm, any pain, any of that. And I'm sorry, and I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. I tried to love you the best way I could, the only way I could. I tried to nurture you. But nothing could take away from what I took from you. Nothing could replace that. I will always love you, always. And the joy that you brought me, I thank God the world can't take it away from me. That you're not mine. Your mother and father are sitting right here.
And Mrs. Williams, you acknowledge that your own family has been harmed in this situation as well,
Oh, yes,
due to your actions?
yes, I do.
And do you have anything that you wish to say to them?
I thank God. I thank God. I thank God that He loved me so much that He allowed me to have a family like y'all. Because it's only Him that gave y'all to me. I'm so sorry I hurt y'all as well. I'm so sorry that I brought this little girl in your life and for her to be taken away from y'all as well, too. I'm sorry for deceiving y'all. I hope one day y'all can find it in your hearts to forgive me for the pain I put y'all through. And the embarrassment. my mom, my dad. I love you guys so much. My husband, my children, my grands. My sisters and my brothers. My nieces and nephews. My aunts and uncles and my church family. My friends. I'm so sorry.
And Mrs. Williams, until you told Alexis that she was Kamaya Mobley, had you told anyone prior to that?
No. Well, no, that's why it was such a shock to everybody. Nobody knew. I kept the secret to myself. Nobody knew. Nobody. That was my secret. Nobody knew.
Having been incarcerated for the last 16 months, what have you learned?
Humility.
Have you tried to make the best of your incarceration?
Yes.
How so?
I stay in my word. I stay in my word. I read the Bible every day. I pray for the Mobley family, the Aiken family, my family. I pray for the people at the Jacksonville Detention Center, the girls in our dorm.
Have you started Bible study?
Yeah, we started a Bible study. And, we're just trying to make it a little easier in there.
Have you received any disciplinary reports while there?
No.
Now, at some point, the judge has the opportunity to impose a sentence of anywhere from time served up to 22 years. If you're able to re-enter society, what are your plans for the future?
My life has changed. My life has changed. I know what Miss Mobley is talking about. I know what Mr. Aiken is talking about. I know their pain. I know a little bit of their pain. The friends you had or the people you know, are not those people. I can't go back to the way things used to be.
Do you intend to return to South Carolina?
Yes,
To Colleton County?
yes.
Are you hoping that your residence still exists?
If my husband will have me.
Would you like to finish your master's?
I would. But those things that meant something to me before, they really don't mean that much to me now. That's because I was in corporate America. Those are not important to me. I'm not thinking about those things really too much.
What are you thinking about?
I'm thinking about helping others. I'm thinking about helping young girls that have been in abusive relationships, not to go down the same road that I've gone. I've talked to a lot of the girls there, and
There where?
at the jail, and my situation is no different from a lot of them. And, you know, some of them are grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to be alive, so, you know, but when your mindset is, when you're abused or you're going through violence, you don't think about, your reasoning is not right when you're going through abuse, you know? And I realize abuse is in all different areas of life. Doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor, you know, black or white, it doesn't matter. And for you to try to hide it and not tell anybody instead of getting help when you need it, I didn't do that. I kept figuring I could deal with this myself. And so, no, those things about management and leadership, no. I think I would change to a different degree, maybe counseling or something. But, you know, being a convicted felon, I'm going to be limited. You know I can't work for the state. I know I can't work for federal. So, you know, maybe a church ministry, I don't know. But I want to help others.
And upon release, how can you ensure the court that you will remain a productive member of society?
Oh, I'm not that same person I was 20 years ago. I'm not, I'm just not that same person. I don't, I've tried to, with the help of the Lord, I've tried to live right. I tried to treat people right. Except for that one little thing I had that nobody knew about.
Do you now have a supportive husband?
Yeah, I do. I have a supportive husband.
Supportive church?
Supportive church, supportive family, supportive community. I mean, they love me even through my circumstances.
And is there anything else that you want to tell the court this morning before the judge imposes sentence?
Other than I'm sorry. I'm sorry about all of this. I'm not a bad person. I did a wrong thing. I did. If I could do it all over again, no, I wouldn't do it. And I thank God for His grace and His mercies because He's helped me through this. I just want to I just want to try to make it right, if it's possible. I just want to try to make it right.
Thank you, Mrs. Williams.
Consciously,
No one forced you, correct?
you're right, correct. No
You
one,
weren't under
no,
the influence of any drug or alcohol, correct?
that is correct.
Okay? You just say you weren't in your right state, your right mind. correct?
No, that's correct, and
But you were taught the difference between right and wrong, correct?
that is correct.
And everything that you did, you knew was wrong, correct?
Yes,
You said that you're a kind person.
yes, I am.
Would you agree that for 18 years, you were not kind to everyone involved in this case?
You're right, I wasn't.
You agree a person is defined by their actions, not their words?
That's true.
So, I want to talk a little bit about your life leading up to your decision to abduct a newborn baby. You decided that you wanted to be in a relationship with Mr. Manigan, correct?
Yes,
And that for all of the abuse that you talked about here on the stand and your family talked about, you never called the police, correct?
no, I did.
You never sought to leave Mr. Manigan, correct?
I did. Eventually, I did.
I'm not an official, I'm talking about at the time that you made the decision to abduct Kamai Noble.
No, not at the time.
Yeah, I understand you left him later.
Yes, I
You
did.
called the police on him later.
No, I called the police on him at the time of some of the incidents that happened.
Let me ask you this, when you got your shoulder surgery, did you tell the truth to the doctors that did the surgery?
Yes, I did.
You told them that your boyfriend pulled your arm out of your socket?
I told him from years of fighting. Yes, but this was after the relationship was over that I had the surgery.
So it was years and years ago.
Yes,
But at the time that you drove down on July 10th, he was in jail, right?
yes,
And he had been in jail for some period of time, correct?
yes,
So you were essentially away from him.
yes.
He didn't have a hold on you at that point, correct?
No, he didn't. But the damage had already been done by that time.
Well, you're not blaming him for the decision that you made.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I've forgiven Mr. Manigo for all the abuse.
Okay. So your sons, though, always spent the summers with their father, right?
Yes, they did.
The fact that they were gone for the summer didn't really impact your decision to abduct Kamai, correct?
Well, at that time in '98, they were gone, period.
And that was based on your behavior, correct?
That was based on the abusive relationship I was in, that they fathered and deceded and got custody of the kids.
So you chose Mr. Manigo over your children.
No, I did not.
Okay, well, you chose to stay with him as opposed to leave him when he was abusive.
I tried to bring peace, and I assumed because he apologized and he said he wasn't going to do it again, that he wouldn't.
Now, you claim you were pregnant, correct?
Yes, I was.
And my understanding is your miscarriage happened several months before July 10th of 1998.
That's correct.
So you had had a significant amount of time to get over that miscarriage, correct? In other words, it didn't happen the day before, it didn't happen July 9th, correct?
Well, I didn't know it was a time limit on how you could mourn.
On her face.
Yes, I did.
And you're going through in your mind, at that point, that you're going to take this child, aren't you?
No.
You said on direct examination, you saw that she was young, correct?
Yeah, I saw that.
And that you actually said on your direct examination, you kind of just threw it out there, and you're like, oh, she wasn't sure how she was going to take care of the kid or something like that. You remember saying
Right. Yeah, and that's what we talked about.
that? Okay. But that's not why you took it. Right? Taylor because Tamara was talking to you about how she was going to care for Tamara, right?
No.
And we heard a lot of I don't knows, okay, about why you did everything. You know, I kind of about 20 of them, but
Okay.
regardless, you didn't come up with an answer. And your answer was, I did it because I wanted to bring peace to my family. Is that true?
Yes.
So when you made the conscious decision to take this child, you did it for your own selfish reasons, correct?
Not thinking logically, yes.
I understand it wasn't a logical decision. It was
No.
a selfish decision, correct?
It wasn't a logical decision.
It was a selfish.
Your Honor, I think she's answered that.
Overruled.
Correct?
It wasn't a logical decision.
You're not going to say it was a selfish one?
Yes, it was. It was.
So you say, you testified that you weren't in your right mind, right?
That's correct.
But certainly you knew to get out of Jacksonville and go back home, correct? In other words, you didn't want to be caught on that day, correct?
From what I remember, I wasn't running. I was walking, and I believe at any given time, somebody could just grab my arm and say, hey, what do you have in the bag?
So you put this child in the bag?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
Guess you really were concerned about Kamaya Mobley's welfare when you stuffed her into a duffel bag, were you?
She wasn't in a duffel bag.
Hers, what was she in? What kind of bag? No.
I don't remember.
You weren't really concerned about her welfare when you did that, were you?
I was.
You were?
Yes.
That's a good place to put a baby. You carry your other children in bags?
No, I haven't.
All right, so anyway, you get back home. Did you put her in the car seat?
Yes.
You get back home, and certainly by the time you've gotten back to South Carolina, you realize what you've done, right?
Yes.
And you went to sleep that night, correct?
Yes.
And it's just you and her, you and Kamaya in the home, correct?
That's correct.
How long was it before you showed her to any friends or family members?
The next day. Oh, no, it was Scary the same day.
Okay? And did any one of your friends and family ever wonder, like, where you were, and where you gave labor, and how come they didn't visit you in the hospital, and anything like that?
No, they
No one
didn't.
had any questions?
My parents did.
What did you tell them?
That I was there overnight because I wasn't home.
Okay, and I guess, they knew that Mr. Mando was in jail, right?
That's correct.
So were they upset that you just gave birth to their grandchild and no one was around?
No.
Everyone thought that was normal?
I mean, you can stay in the hospital one day. If you don't have a fever, you can go home.
I understand that, but in some respects, you figure a phone call would be made and say, hey, I've given birth.
I guess if you're thinking like that, yes.
Well, didn't everyone know that you weren't pregnant anymore?
No, they didn't.
So then you begin the process of perfecting your crime by getting fake birth certificates and fake social security cards and fake bassinet information that you doctored up to show that Kamaya Mobley was in fact your child, correct?
Yes.
And you would agree that any time during Kamaya Mobley's young childhood, it would have been in her best interest for you to turn her over to the authorities, correct?
Yes.
And you could have done that anonymously without getting in any trouble, right?
I guess.
I mean, in theory, you could have walked into a hospital and dropped her off and walked out, right?
I guess. Yes.
And then, maybe you would have never been caught, but at least she would have been found, right?
Yes.
And certainly you knew that the entire city of Jacksonville, frankly, the entire United States was looking for who stole Kamaya Mobley, right?
I didn't know that.
Well, you knew enough when you confessed to Kamaya Mobley, you knew enough to go on the internet site and pull off the flyer, right?
That's correct.
You knew that was out there, right? In other words, that she was being looked for, right?
Yes.
You know that. So you did know that people were looking for her, right?
I said yes.
Okay. So I understand the internet didn't really exist right then.
Right.
It does today. Okay. And even back then, in the year 99, in the year 2000, before Kamaya Mobley would have had any memories of your abduction, you certainly thought about taking her back, correct?
Yes.
You testified to that.
Yes, I did.
And then you made the decision not to.
Out of fear.
Fear of getting caught,
No, out of just fear.
fear of losing her, right?
Because I loved her.
Right. And that was a selfish love, correct?
I wouldn't say it was selfish.
Okay. Do you think any of your degrees and good works in the community give any solace to the Mobley or Aiken families?
Of course not.
Do you think that your missing your grandchildren gives any solace to the Mobley or Aiken families?
Of course not.
Do you acknowledge that this was the worst decision you could have made for Kamaya Mobley?
Absolutely.
When you did confess to Kamaya Mobley, that was only because Kamaya Mobley was confronting you about not being able to have a Social Security card in person, correct?
That's correct.
And had that not occurred, you might have still kept the secret from it, correct?
No.
Oh, you would have confessed eventually?
Yes.
Okay, you were just biding your time for 16 years?
No.
Okay. But even after you confessed to her, you did not turn yourself in, correct?
That's correct.
And you had to have known that her parents, her real parents, were still looking for her, correct?
Correct.
And you made the decision to listen to a 16-year-old who asked you not to turn yourself in, correct?
Yes.
You listened to a 16-year-old that for the last 16 years you had brainwashed into thinking that you were her mother. Correct?
I wouldn't use the word brainwash.
Well, what word would you use?
I mean, that's what she knew. That's all she knew.
Would you want to, instead of brainwashing, would you want to say every waking moment of the day you lied to her?
The love wasn't a lie. True love is not a lie.
I mean, it's based on the falsehood it is.
It's not.
When you heard her say mother for the first time, you knew in your heart that that was a lie. Correct?
Correct.
And you perpetrated that lie, and you promulgated that lie every waking moment of those 18 years, correct?
Yes.
So instead of brainwashing, you'd rather use those words. Lying every single waking moment of every single day. Is that better than brainwashing?
That's your words, sir.
If you were so concerned about Kamaya Mobley's welfare, why on earth did you not seek counseling for her when you confessed to her that she was not your child?
I don't know why I didn't.
Yeah, you don't have a good answer to that, do you? isn't the real answer because you really didn't care about Kamaya Nova's welfare? Because if she started talking to counselors about the fact that you stole her, you'd be arrested?
No,
Was it your welfare that you were concerned about?
no, it wasn't. Because I was willing to turn myself in.
But you listened to a child instead. Yes?
Yes,
Did you take joy? Did you find it precious to you, in your heart and your soul, the pictures that you looked at and were introduced into evidence as Defense Composite 6? Are those memories precious to you?
yes,
And do you acknowledge that you forever stole those precious memories from the people that gave birth to that child?
yes,
And you understand that you cannot turn back the clock after that, correct?
I cannot.
There is no mistake with which you can erase that pain, correct?
That is correct.
You know, you said that the world cannot take away the joy that you experienced raising Kamaya. You know what I'm saying that?
Yes, I did.
But it was you, and only you, that took that